Red Dead Redemption is nearly 12 years old. In that time, Red Dead Redemption 2 released. A lot of people assumes that this means Red Dead Online is a complete improvement over Red Dead Redemption Online. And some people didn't even know that Red Dead Redemption had an online. And in today's video, we're going to be going over the improvements from Red Dead Redemption Online to Red Dead Online, and what Red Dead Redemption Online actually does better than Red Dead Online. But before we do get into all of that, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss any content just like this. So, getting back into the video. We're first going to look at what Red Dead Redemption 1 Online does better than Red Dead Online. And first is downloadable content. When I was in the main menus for Red Dead Redemption Online, the first thing I noticed was that there was a downloadable content tab. This was pretty cool considering all of this was free, and there was some stuff in there like a warhorse, which was really popular back when Red Dead Redemption Online released. Obviously, having this as downloadable content doesn't really make much sense, especially with how Rockstar have pushed Red Dead Online updates, but it would be cool to see some of this content in Red Dead Online. The warhorse we have seen a little bit of in the Call to Arms Halloween mode, but it was nothing like what was seen in Red Dead Redemption Online. So something like this would actually be really cool, and a lot of players would definitely like this addition. When I was loading into Red Dead Redemption Online, something I noticed was a difficulty selector. I'm not really sure how this actually works, but obviously maybe for some players in Red Dead Online, this would be something that they would like to see added. They might struggle with the PvP or the PvE side of Red Dead Online, so to be able to make that slightly easier might be better for them. You got the option of easy, normal, and hardcore. To be able to see this in Red Dead Online could be a pretty neat addition. Something I was actually quite shocked about for a 2010 game compared to a 2018 game was that saves were much easier to navigate. To change your character in Red Dead Redemption Online was so much easier than doing it in Red Dead Online, which I was actually pretty shocked about, obviously because, you know, that sort of thing should advance, but it seems like it hasn't. There are a lot of people that have more than one Red Dead Online character, and switching these can be a bit of a pain, so being able to do this easily with different saves would obviously be a great update with Red Dead Online. And next up is something quite small, but I noticed there are actually tips in the loading screen when loading into Red Dead Redemption Online. This is really small and most players wouldn't really care for this, but I do think it would be something quite simple and pretty cool to add to Red Dead Online. And next up is something that loads of people, well, pretty much everyone would want, and that's free fast travel. In Red Dead Redemption Online, I was able to fast travel for free, and that really isn't the case in Red Dead Online. A lot of beginner players really struggle with traveling. Having to pay $14 to fast travel somewhere is a lot as a beginner. So when I just started out in Red Dead Redemption Online the other day, I could just fast travel somewhere for free. So now we're going to actually look at the settings in Red Dead Redemption Online. The weapons tab shows stats clearly, which could be pretty good in Red Dead Online. Being able to clearly see stats for a weapon outside of the weapon wheel could be pretty good, and for some players that could be really useful. Obviously, you can already see the stats in the weapon wheel, but just having it more clearly laid out could be a nice addition. And next up is the journal section in these settings. I was pretty interested in this because I hadn't really seen this before, and this is actually pretty cool. This involves challenges in Red Dead Redemption Online that you can complete and then level up in different categories. And this is just easy content that Rockstar added, and it's some good content for players to play through. You won't be getting much for completing these challenges, but it just brings that sense of completion, just like leveling up in Red Dead Online. So having this in Red Dead Online I think would be a great addition, especially considering a lot of players complain about the lack of content, so having something like this to do would take quite a grind and would be good since it would give players something to complete in Red Dead Online. And next up is rank unlocks. By leveling up in Red Dead Redemption Online, you're actually unlocking much more significant content compared to Red Dead Online. In Red Dead Online, you may just unlock a few clothes or maybe a new weapon, but in Red Dead Redemption Online, you actually unlock new content by leveling up, which drives players to play more Red Dead Redemption Online, since by playing, they get more content. For example, if you reach level 2, you will unlock PvP. There isn't really anything like this in Red Dead Online, so being able to level up and get new content would be a pretty cool addition. A few other small things in the settings in Red Dead Redemption Online is that the stats menu is much more detailed and is very clearly laid out. In Red Dead Online, you have a player menu which just has a few stats on there in a list, whereas this has a load of detailed stats in different categories, which is much more detailed compared to Red Dead Online. So for Rockstar to be able to clear this up in Red Dead Online would be pretty cool, and I'm sure a lot of players would appreciate that. And then next up we have the social club menu, which involves even more challenges, just like the journal section. And once again, this is just even more content and would be easy additions for Rockstar to make to Red Dead Online. So moving away from the stats and settings, we have mules. Mules aren't actually mounts in Red Dead Online. We do have donkeys, but not mules. And in Red Dead Redemption Online, you can actually ride mules. I went to whistle for my horse and a mule arrived, which I thought was pretty cool. Being able to have a variety of mounts in Red Dead Online would be a cool addition and would make a change from all of the horses. Obviously, horses will always be the main mount, but just to be able to have those other types of mounts would be pretty fun. Something else I noticed is that there are much more fast travel posts in Red Dead Redemption Online. And considering this is a much smaller map, you wouldn't expect there to be more fast travel posts. But maybe in Red Dead Online to have free fast travel and more fast travel posts would be a good addition. Another thing on the map is gang hideouts. A bunch of gang hideouts are located on the map. This could be pretty cool to have in Red Dead Online. Obviously, gang hideouts are already in Red Dead Online, but they are random encounters. We do know their locations with Red Dead Online maps, but they will randomly occur. I personally think to be able to have a mixture of random encounters of gang hideouts and specific locations, maybe the specific locations could be significantly harder compared to the random encounters and give you more rewards. It could be good to just have that mixture. When I loaded into a PvP match in Red Dead Redemption Online, I noticed that you actually have an interactive waiting menu. You can run around in a small area and even do something like chop some wood, which is pretty cool. I think this is much better compared to the still waiting areas in Red Dead Online. So to be able to have something like this could be a pretty good addition, and it can take quite a while to wait for a showdown to start. So being able to actually do something in that time could be quite good. When I was in the PvP, I went into a gang showdown. It actually started with a PvP duel with an actual player, which I thought was really cool. Obviously, duels are in the Red Dead Redemption 2 story, but we never actually see them in Red Dead Online. So to be able to do a duel against an actual player would be a great addition to Red Dead Online. And I'm sure a lot of those players that play PvP would really like this addition. Also in PvP, I noticed that there were crates that if you ran over them, your Deadeye would instantly restore to the max. Obviously there are tonics in Red Dead Online that do this, but this sort of thing doesn't exist, and I think it could be quite a good addition to something like Call to Arms, especially if you are low on tonics. So that just about covers what Red Dead Redemption Online does better than Red Dead Online, but now let's look at the few things that Red Dead Online does better than Red Dead Redemption Online. We'll only look at the obvious ones, because obviously there are quite a few good improvements, but something I noticed was that in Red Dead Redemption Online, you just get put straight in. There's no tutorial or anything like that, so you probably have to go away in your own time and watch something like a YouTube video for guidance. You really do just get chucked straight in, and there are no hints. So when I played it for the first time, I just felt lost and I wasn't really sure where I was going. I also noticed that I was just given a random character. In Red Dead Online, there is some great detailed character customization, which is actually really popular. So this is something that Red Dead Online does significantly better. And it is also much easier to be grieved in Red Dead Redemption Online. I had a really hard time escaping grievers, and considering I was awful at the game, I stood no chance, and escaping them was pretty tough. I actually had to end up switching sessions, considering they could just fast travel with me, which was a bit of a pain. Obviously, in Red Dead Online this could happen, but the map is so much bigger that it is just a bit easier. And lastly, we have the obvious one, graphics. Red Dead Online is a beautiful game, and obviously with that 8-year difference, the graphics have significantly improved. So that does just about wrap up things here. Hopefully you did enjoy looking at the differences between Red Dead Redemption Online and Red Dead Online. And if you did enjoy this video, be sure to like, subscribe and turn the notification bell so you never miss any content just like this. And be sure to comment down below if you have any content ideas for the future. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.